Hello dear students, this is Industrial Relations and Labor Laws course tutorial. This is tutorial 2.1. The topic is Trade Union, meaning, origin and growth of trade union. The learning objectives are to understand the meaning of trade union and to know the origin and growth of trade unions in India. Well, before proceeding, here I am informing you that at the end of this tutorial, there are 3 questions relating to the topic that I'm going to discuss here in this tutorial, and the answer you need to post there in my Google Classroom. So let's start. Trade union meaning and definition. A trade union of workers is an organization formed by workers to protect their interest, improve their working conditions, etc. Trade unions are a major component of the modern industrial relations system. Sidney and Webb defined the trade union as a continuous association of wage earners for the purpose of maintaining and improving the conditions of their working lives. The definition stated in the Trade Union Act 1926 is broader is because it not only covers union of workers but also union or organizations of employer. So the definition goes as trade union means any combination, whether temporary or permanent, formed primarily for the purpose of regulating the relation between workmen and employers, or between workmen, or between employers and employers, or for imposing restrictive conditions on the conduct of any trade or business, and includes any federation of 2 or more trade unions. So here you have noticed that this definition is including not only the organization of workers, but it is including also the organization of employers. So this definition is broader. That is the legal definition. Now, I'm going to discuss the origin and growth of trade union in India. Trade unionism is shaped in each country by the socio-political and economic conditions of the country and the general structure of the society in which it has to work. If the origin or the growth of trade unions is studied, it is found to be embedded with the socio-political and economic events that took place in that region or the events that took place in any other region which is having affinity with the former region. Thus, in case of India, the Britishers' dominance and the nationalist movement, harsh treatment to the workers and poor working conditions in factories, the First World War, growth of different political ideologies and parties, planned economic development, growth of public sector undertaking, etc. All these happenings are events found to impact in the growth of trade union. The trade union movement in India can be divided into 3 phases. The first phase, that is in between 1850 to 1900, the second phase 1900 to 1947, and the third phase is 1947 onwards. The first phase falls between 1850 and 1900, during which the inception of trade unions took place. The origin of the movement can be traced to the labor unrest dating back to 1877, when workers at the Empress Mills at Nagpur struck following a wage cut. In 1884, 5,000 Bombay textile workers submitted a petition demanding regular payment of wages, a weekly holiday, and a midday recess of 30 minutes. As a result of the prevailing poor working conditions and long hours of work, many strikes took place in the 2 decades following 1880 in all industrial cities. These strikes taught workers to understand the power of united action even though they had no union. Small associations came up in Bombay and in Kolkata. The Bombay Mill Hands Association, formed in 1890, which is known to be the first workers' organization in India. It was formed under the leadership of Narayan Lokhande, who can be regarded as the father of India's modern trade union movement. It was a welfare organization to promote workers' interest. Soon, a number of other organizations of similar nature formed in India. Guided by educated philanthropists and social workers, the growth of the trade union movement was slow in this phase. This di- sorry, During this period, workers possessed no trade union in the true sense of the term. So it was the period where you can see the emergence of workers organization, so which cannot be say as the true in true sense those were not trade union. The second phase of the Indian trade union movement falls between 1900 and 1947. This phase was characterized by the development of organized trade unions and political movement of the working class. It also witnessed the emergence of militant trade unionism. The Madras Labour Union, which was founded in 1918 by the nationalist leaders Thiruvaiker and B.P. Wadia, took up the grievances of workers, such as harsh treatment meted out to Indian labour by the British supervisors and the unduly short midday recess to get it better by approaching the management of the enterprise. There are instances of civil suit against this union. Unfortunately, there was no legislation at that time to protect the trade union. In 1926, the Trade Union Act was enacted. The period 1900 to 1915 was the preparatory phase for organized trade union movement. Later, the First World War and Russian Revolution of 1917 gave a new turn to the Indian trade union movement and led to organized efforts on the part of workers to form trade unions. It was estimated that in 1920 there were 125 trade unions with a total membership of 250,000. In 1920, the first national trade union organization, the All India Trade Union Congress, was established. Many of the leaders of this organization was leaders of the national movement. N.M. Joshi, Jawala, Solicitor Jinawala, S.C. Joshi, V.G. Dalvi, Dr. Baptista came on the scene and many strong unions were organized, especially in port trust, dock staff, bank employees, customs, income tax, ministerial staff, etc. The third phase began with the emergence of independent India in 1947. The government sought the cooperation of the unions for planned economic development. This phase has witnessed the fragmentation and multiplicity of the trade unions in India and affiliation of trade unions to the political parties. The working class movement was politicized along the lines of the political parties. For instance, Indian National Trade Union Congress, that is the trade union arm of the Congress Party. The All India Trade Union Congress is a trade union arm of the Communist Party of India. Similarly, Hindu Mazdoor Sabha, and having affiliation with the Socialist, the Center of Indian Trade Unions having affiliation with Communist Party of India Marxist. In the same line, regional trade union organizations affiliated to regional political parties such as the DMK, AIADMK and MDMK in Tamil Nadu and the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra have also emerged. Gradually, besides workers, white-collar employees, supervisors and managers are also organized by the trade unions, as for example, in the banking, insurance, and petroleum industries. And thus, the scene of trade unionism in India is growing and evolving and changing its characteristics. Now, the state trade union characteristic is changed a lot due to the impact of the new economic policy, so which you know better as liberalization, privatization, and globalization policy. So this is about origin and growth of trade unions in India. So as I told you, there are three questions. So these three questions you need to answer me in my Google Classroom. So you can post your answer in the comment section. So where this material is uploaded. The first question is, who is regarded as the father of India's modern trade union movement? The second question, which is known to be the first workers' organization in India? And the third question is, in which year the first national trade union organization, All India Trade Union Congress, was established? So these are the three questions. This is the source from which I have collected the information that I have presented in the slides. So this much in today's tutorial. I'm wrapping the session here. Thank you.